The General Secretary of United Methodist Communications, Dan Krause, and Tim Tanton, the Chief News Officer, will greet you at this time.
Salbona. Good morning. I'm Dan Krause, General Secretary of United Methodist Communications, often known more commonly as UMCom. And it's my pleasure to add to Gary's welcome to the pre-General Conference briefing. We're happy to have you here in Nashville, Music City, home of United Methodist Communications and several of our sister agencies. This year, United Methodist Communications is celebrating our 80th anniversary of telling the church's story, both within the church and to the world. At the 1939 Uniting Conference, the Episcopal address proclaimed that the church was not Methodistically informed and called for taking the message of the church to its own people and to all people. From that, the seeds were planted from which United Methodist Communications grew. Communications helps empower people to make informed decisions. It creates community. It enables dialogue, and it can decrease anxiety. We believe that this is especially important for the church right now, and over the next few months as we move toward General Conference and beyond, United Methodist Communications will utilize the power of communication to facilitate awareness and understanding, while providing resources to help inform church leaders and help you communicate across your audiences. Likewise, we want to make sure that we have provided appropriate resources for you as delegates, communicators, and church leaders to help prepare for General Conference. This briefing is an informal event designed to help you. During these 2 days, you'll hear from several leaders and experts about the various proposals that will be coming before General Conference, along with information on what to expect at General Conference. We're delighted that the General Conference host team and Bishop O are here from Minneapolis. The team will be telling you about the preparations they're working on for visitors, as well as sharing information to help you make the most of your stay in Minneapolis in May. I would also like to add a thank you to the many people who have helped make this event happen, including our speakers, our moderators, our exhibitors, and our sponsors. Please take time during the breaks to visit and meet with our exhibitors and learn more about their ministries. Lastly, I would like to thank each of you for joining us. We hope you will find being here to be a good use of your time and an excellent opportunity to get to know one another as delegates, communicators, and church leaders. UMCom has staff on hand throughout the hall and at the reception table to answer any questions that you might have during these 2 days, so please feel free to call on us. And now I'd like to introduce Tim Tanton, who has put in countless hours making this event happen. Tim is our Chief News Officer, who will also share a little additional information.
Thank you very much, Dan. Well, welcome again to the pre-General Conference briefing. Grace and peace be to all of you. What a blessing it is for all of us to be here together in this space today. Amen? We have packed a lot into these 2 days. The topics on the agenda each merit much more time than we're able to give them in this event. But we wanted to put as much into these 2 days as we possibly could to give you the deepest familiarity possible for doing your work at General Conference, whether as a delegate, a communicator, or church leader. This is an informational event. The purpose of the sessions is to give you the best information, and we have lined up really the most authoritative speakers available for each of the topics that we will be addressing and hearing about. Our speakers have kindly given of their time, and many have traveled some great distances to be here with us. We are also blessed to have a number of speakers and communicators from the Central Conferences with us today. I would like to also just share with you the fact that while this is billed as a United Methodist Communications event, this is really the result of a collaboration across agencies. And I think as you look at the agenda, you'll get a sense of the degree of collaboration that has occurred to bring this event together. I do want to say a special word of thanks for our worship leader, Raymond Trapp, the worship and music director for General Conference. Raymond has been working for several months preparing these worship moments for us. And would you please just join me in giving him a round of applause? So in your materials, you received a link to our best practices for the briefing. Feelings, as we know, often run high around some of the topics that we'll be addressing. The gist of our best practices is to extend grace to one another, especially to those who may have different viewpoints. This includes listening well, as Gary mentioned, and avoiding heckling. I know none of us would do that. And it also extends to how we interact digitally through social media and other platforms. We can stand firm in our own convictions and still extend grace and be kind to one another as we're called to do. You will be able to keep up with the agenda, see speaker bios, and access presentation materials through the Sketch app. Now, we sent an email out with directions on how to access the app, but if you need help, please see me afterward, and I'll be glad to walk you through that. This event is being recorded, and video segments from it will be posted online on the pre-General Conference briefing website within several days of the briefing. So you can go back and review what you will have experienced today, and you can also share this as a resource in Sunday school classes and other conference gatherings that you may have. Just as a housekeeping tip, we do have obviously refreshment stations around the room. We also have charging stations. So if you need to charge your device, you will find some charging stations on some of the small tables around the room. If you need anything while you are here, please don't hesitate to ask. You can see me or anyone wearing a United Methodist Communications name tag. We want to make this a great experience for you, and we will be glad to help you. So thank you so much. Enjoy the briefing, and sal bono.
Thank you, Tim and Dan. We're also blessed to have the resident bishop, Bishop McAlilly, who will come and greet you.
I'd like for the delegates from the Memphis and Tennessee conferences to please stand and join me as I bring greetings to you all. Welcome to Vatican City of our tribe. As Dan said, home of UMCom, Discipleship Ministries, General Board of Higher Education and Ministry, the United Methodist Publishing House, and UMCom, and other assorted Methodists in our tribe. We have a beautiful city. We hope that you will enjoy it. It's a place that's home to more steeples and churches per capita than any other city in the United States of America. That means we got a lot of competition, we Methodists do. It's home to the mother church of country music, the Ryman Auditorium. Let's have an amen on that. We also are home to some amazing ministries through the Nashville Episcopal area. I will simply name one, Open Table Ministries. We appointed a pastor to the streets of Nashville a number of years ago after the floods in Nashville, and out of that has grown a dynamic homeless ministry. Most recent development with Open Table is that they built a tiny home village for homeless people in transition for transitional housing. It's been a partnership across the city. We have a number of church plants here that are doing amazingly well. One of my favorites is Home Church Nashville, a home church for the spiritually homeless. We thank you for coming. We hope that you will find God's grace and peace in this place, and that before you leave, you'll eat some Nashville hot chicken or some Martin's barbecue right across the street.